So the next two DLC characters in Tekken 8 are going to be Fahkumram and Armor King, both of which are returning legacy characters. And I think it's great that we're getting Armor King back in the game because he was certainly on the top of the list in terms of the characters that I wanted to see the most in Tekken 8. And Fahkumram is an interesting choice. He's probably not a character I would have gone with, but, you know, that's interesting. Fahkumram was one of the last characters announced for Tekken 7. He was created specifically for that game, similarly to Lydia. But he's kind of like a Bruce equivalent. He's like a Muay Thai fighter. I would have preferred Josie, but that's just me personally. But yeah, that's cool that Fahkumram's in the game. And I've noticed a trend. The first season had 3 of the 4 characters as legacy characters, and that same trend is carried over to Season 2. The 4th character of Season 2, yet to be announced, most likely at EVO, is going to be an original character created specifically for Tekken 8. I hope the new character is going to be a woman. I hope so. Because I think we need more women in Tekken, especially DLC characters, which is why I beg every single day to put Christy in this game, and maybe Josie, that'd be cool too. But of the first season, there was Eddie, Lydia, Heihachi, and Clive, who was a guest character from Final Fantasy. Then Season 2 had Anna Williams, which she probably should have been in the game to begin with, similarly to Eddie and Lydia. And then the second character is Fahkumram, third is Armor King, and fourth is an original character. And I'm glad that we're getting a new original character, but it's kind of like the discussion that we had with Mortal Kombat. How many guest characters are too many guest characters, right? Because for Mortal Kombat 1, all the DLC were basically just guest characters. There was like Homelander, Peacemaker, Omni-Man, and then Season 2 had like the T-1000, which admittedly the T-1000 is pretty cool. I can't even lie about that. And then there was like Ghostface from the Scream movies, and Conan the Barbarian, which, okay, whatever. But like there were some Mortal Kombat characters who were DLC, like Cyrax and Sector, but I haven't really played Mortal Kombat 1 that much, especially because that game is finished now, and that was a very unintentional pun on Mortal Kombat, you know, like finish it. No, you get what I'm saying. Anyway, so for Season 1, as I mentioned earlier, I think Eddie and Lydia should have just been on the base roster. Maybe not necessarily Armor King, but Eddie and Lydia absolutely should have been in there day one. And I do like the idea of introducing new original characters. I think that's cool. But it's like if each season had 2 returning characters, like legacy characters from previous games, and 2 original characters, would that be decent? Or if it had like maybe one season has 2 legacy characters, 1 original character, and maybe 1 guest character, I think that'd be fine. But it's just like, how many legacy characters are too many? Because obviously you cannot satisfy everybody. It's simply not possible. Somebody's going to be complaining like, hey, this one character that I really loved in Tekken 6 isn't in 7 nor 8. When are you going to put it back in the game? Such as Christy for me. And some people are going to be like, oh, well, I think that there needs to be more original characters. So obviously you can't please everybody. It's a lost cause to try to do so. But I really like Armor King. He's a cool character. Obviously, I'm more of a King kind of dude. But it's like having King and Armor King is like Anna and Nina. You can't have one and not have the other, right? Especially because all the past Tekken games have had both Anna, Nina, King, Armor King, right? They're kind of like an inseparable duo. But I think it was egregious not to have Anna and Nina together. Like Tekken 7 did the same thing where Anna was a DLC. And it's like, we shouldn't separate Anna and Nina. Like, yeah, Nina's included on the base roster, but not Anna. That was just kind of weird, but whatever. In terms of DLC characters that I would like to see added later on, obviously Christy Montero's at the top of the list. I would like to see Josie being added back into the game. I would also be a fan of maybe Julia, like JC, being added into the game, because I think she's really, really cool too. Also, I jokingly say I want to see Alex added back into the game because I think it'd be so funny to have like another animal character, like maybe Roger or Alex. I think it'd be so funny to have that. But then again, if you add like Alex or Roger back into the game, somebody's going to be complaining like, oh man, this spot could have went to somebody else. I think it'd be cool to see Bob back in this game. I think that'd be awesome. Maybe Lei Wulong would be cool to see too. But I mostly want Christy. She's like number 1 on my list. I can go without the other characters. I just want Christy. Even if we have to sacrifice Josie, whatever, that's fine. On second thought, please add Josie, please. Let's have both of them. But this isn't just exclusive to Tekken. Every fighting game does this, where they'll sell legacy characters as DLC. But I've noticed it's a unique case for Tekken that they'll take fan favorite iconic characters like Eddie, Armor King, Anna, and they will sell them separately as DLC. Like when you look at Street Fighter, the characters that are sold as DLC, it's like Ed, Rashid. Those are like the returning characters, and Bison. The only returning character that I'm really hyped for in Street Fighter 6 is Elena. And then there's like Aki, who's kind of like an original character. She's like Fang, basically. But Aki's way cooler. And then you have the two guest characters, Terry Bogard and Mai from King of Fighters, which that's fine. But for Tekken, it's like they sell iconic fan favorite characters such as Eddie, Armor King, Anna as separate DLCs. Like those are fan favorites, especially Eddie. He's one of the most iconic Tekken characters ever, and they're sold separately. So for Street Fighter 6, could you imagine if they sold like Guile as a DLC? That'd be a little weird. Or if they sold Jury. Well, I mean, she was DLC in Street Fighter 5, but Jury is a fan favorite now, absolutely. Could you imagine if they sold Cammy as a DLC character? Could you imagine that? It seems kind of preposterous now. But maybe Street Fighter 4 did, I can't remember exactly. But it's just like for Tekken, they'll take Eddie, Armor King, Anna, and sell them as DLCs. Like these are characters that people are begging for, and of course, the developers know that players want these characters. But I guess the biggest reason why they do that is simply because they want the DLC characters to sell very well. And they understand that if they introduce a new character, such as Lydia, it's a little risky because maybe not everybody will be interested. But for the record, I think Lydia is cool.